A surprise movie review?
Whoa.
What? What's going on?
Movie review?
Early before the film comes out?
Allegedly. I don't know. The embargo hasn't lifted yet. This could be after the movie's been released.
We're just going to hit public on the private video when we see the other reviews for this movie. We haven't done an early movie review since the one that nobody watched. Anyway, we have a review for Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin. New M.Night Shyamalan flick.
Yes. They should have kept the title of the book.
Knock at the Cabin. No, I'm kidding. Guys, it's late. The original title of the book is Cabin at the End of the World, which is a bitchin' title.
It is a bitchin' title. A book that, by the way, none of us have read. So keep that in your minds when listening to the review. It's coming from the perspective of people who have never read the book. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, let's kind of just dive right into this review. We got special advance passes to see it early. Mm-hmm. And it's fine. Too long, didn't read. It's fine.
M.night Shyamalan. Is there something there?
That's the headline, folks.
Is there something?
There it is.
Can we make that a thing?
1000%.
There was no beach that makes you old.
No.
I liked it better than Old.
I never saw Old. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll kind of go into it.
It's kind of hard to guide. I'm still formulating my thoughts on it.
Yeah, we just saw it. So like here, let me give my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Positives. I think the performances pretty much across the board are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Bautista does very good. The two leads of the film do well.
I know one of them is Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff, yeah. But the other guy, the other actor, he to me was the standout with Bautista. The tension.
Ben Aldridge.
The tension in the film I thought was built really well. It does kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. Mm-hmm. And when the film got into it, it did pull me in. Mm-hmm. About right around the end of the first act, I was pretty much pulled into the movie. I thought it was paced well, and I thought it was edited well. Negatives, it does take a while for me to get pulled in. Mm-hmm. And I thought the ending, to me, this is going to be different for everyone, the ending to me was a bit underwhelming in how it was both revealed and pulled off. Obviously, no spoilers here. Mm-hmm. I just struggled to kind of quite put my finger on why it didn't really work for me on all these levels. Now, there are some things in the script that don't work. Like, there's some really bad dialogue, especially early on. There's some choices characters don't make that are the obvious choices to make. Like,
yeah,
you know exactly what I'm talking about. But like,
regardless of what you believe and your morals, there are certain situations that you get presented to in life.
Yeah,
where you go, no, you do this.
Yeah,
like just yeah.
And the film, you could have done stuff with that.
And I get, movies need to happen.
The
movie itself needs to happen,
yeah,
and there's some suspension of disbelief you have to go with it. Like any movie that has a cop in it, you're like, okay, yeah.
And like, there's no like, you made a suggestion. I won't spoil it. But you made a suggestion about if two characters just swapped places, that a scene makes a lot more sense, and I fully agreed with you on that.
Yeah.
But overall, the film was not bad. The film is perfectly fine, perfectly serviceable. I think that it does do a good job building tension. Another thing that bothered me a bit was I thought the shot construction was strange, which for an M. Night movie, and a lot of M. Night movies look really beautiful, and the film looks fine. But to me, a lot of the shots were random, and they didn't really convey what was happening in the scene. I know there are some shots where their purpose is to be directly opposite, but it didn't even feel like that. Like, there was some framing where I was literally, like, during the movie, it looked at you, and I was like, what is this shot? Like, it was just strange to me. Not like his other films.
Well, there's a time, too, when you could do stuff like that serves a greater purpose to the story.
Exactly, yeah.
And those types of things could be used to disorient the audience, which could be the work of it. Which
there is a great shot in the movie involving Rupert Grint that I won't give away, but that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like, overall, there were a lot of strange choices.
It didn't feel cohesive with the shot structure.
Yes, I agree.
Would be the better.
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of your points. I think that the ending was a tad underwhelming, especially because they did such a good job the whole movie of you not knowing what the ending was going to be.
Yes, they did do a good job.
Like, you kind of give to a point, and I will give it, Old had a pretty... I liked the twist of Old a little bit. It had, its moments. I think a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies seem very good in theory, and they have, like, great ideas, and then they get, like, a Stephen King ending.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know about that.
Mhm.
Like, if you just cut the movie like 10 minutes earlier, like, rad.
Yeah.
All the performances were great. The daughter did very well too, which kid actors are always a gamble, I think.
It's a shot in the dark.
And I didn't think she was anything extraordinary, but
No.
she was not bad.
Yeah, and there are moments where it's like, okay, this is a child actor.
But you got to remember it's a child actor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when the beats needed to be hit, she hit them.
Mhm.
I think.
Like the scene, like her big scene with this. Yeah.
Yep. She did really well.
I'd be curious what he's gonna do next after this, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I mean, I like that he's kind of staying low budget and doing his thing. It has been working out mostly in his favor. He it goes back and forth with him, but I think that I would like to see him make more movies like this, like just more tense one-room drama movies.
Yeah.
Because overall, I thought the film was perfectly fine. It just stumbled a bit in its execution, and overall, I'd say it's like bang average.
I think the issue, and I think this might be a thing of things to come, but M. Night Shyamalan still has this allure about him of you got to have this batshit crazy twist, you got to do all these kinds of things, right? You go into an M. Night Shyamalan movie expecting certain things. And I felt like this movie kind of broke away from that stigma a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he really kind of just played like a straight thriller.
Yeah.
Whereas like Old had these, weird things, these twists, all that kind of stuff. This one's more of a thrill, like just straight up apocalyptic thriller.
Yeah.
Obviously that's in the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if he's trying to almost sort of break away from that as well and be like, well, I get the tension, right? Sometimes the story just doesn't need anything supernatural or like these big elaborate things. So I'd be curious what his next few projects look like, if he's going to keep on that track of just making these tense, atmospheric movies.
Yeah, and which I would love to see.
Mm-hmm.
And something else with the film that was a bit inconsistent, but when it was high, I loved it. When it was low, it bothered me, was its use of red herrings.
Mm-hmm.
There are some red herrings in the film that are very well done and cause immediate intrigue and tension. And there are some red herrings where after the fact, you're like, wait, but then why? What was the point of that?
Yeah.
And, upon rewatch of that movie, you're gonna struggle to connect with those moments that don't quite fit. Whereas there are some like mystery thriller movies, like very totally different movie I'm about to make a comparison to, but like Glass Onion, for example. If you rewatch that movie, all the red herrings still match up because that all still meant something. And there are some things in this movie where they led to nothing and they don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Which I think was a bit off-putting. But like overall, like I said, if I had to like wrap it up, like if I was writing an essay in middle school, this is when I would put ultimately, the movie is a very tense thriller that has really good performances.
Mm-hmm.
I connected with the characters, both the protagonists and the antagonists. However, it makes some creative choices that just didn't work for me. The ending was a bit underwhelming, and the shot construction was a bit off. But again, pacing and editing was great. I think pacing on a movie is really important, and I did not feel like dragged, boring. The flashback sequences in the movie are the perfect length. Like I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. Overall, I think the movie did get me interested in reading the book only because I want to know what the ending is in the novel.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same.
How much they've changed of it or how much is exactly the same through that.
Yeah, I agree. But
I wonder on rewatch, too. Like, I know some people that still want to see it, so I may, if it lines up, go watch it again. Yeah. I'm curious on rewatch if those red herrings might make more sense, because like immediately after the fact I'm like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I'll catch on to stuff of be like which may help, especially knowing how the movie ends.
Yeah,
I think might exceed my expectations next time, so I'm curious to see how that levels out.
Yeah, it could end up better or worse on the rewatch. I agree.
I'll say recommend.
Yeah, recommend for sure. For sure, absolutely. I don't normally give grades out a whole lot anymore, but I give it like a B or a B minus.
Yeah, I'm sitting, I think, I use the Letterboxd 5-star system. Thinking maybe 3?
3? Like 2.5, 3?
2.5, 3.
Yeah.
Bang average.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I think Plane's still number one this year so far.
1 month in, Plane
We're
remains.
1 month in and Plane's still number one. How when Megan came out, Plane beats it, I don't know.
Well, that's going to do it for us on the review, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. What did you guys think of Knock at the Cabin? Please let us know in the comments. And as always, please catch episodes of our show and all the videos we put out for you. And please subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
And we'll see you next time.